Welcome, ikomamay, mahalo everyone for attending the first and the introduction of the series that we have, 8-week series for the Inner Peace Meditation workshops. I'm your facilitator today along with Reverend Takamasa Yamamura. And so there's a practice and learning component to this. And there's about 20 to 30 minutes of lecture or information to impart with all the practitioners, and then followed by another 30 minutes or less of the actual practice so that you can sample the different types of meditation. The 8-part series, it's a practice and learning approach, as I mentioned. Week 1 is the introduction. You're going to learn about the benefits of the meditation, the different types of meditation. Week 2, we would have a Buddhist meditation, mindfulness, and ahimsa, which Gandhi actually mentioned several times as the basis of the soul force concept of the Satyagraha movement, which then led to the liberation of India itself from the British rule. Reverend Takamasa Yamamura will be sharing the teaching of the one vehicle Buddhism. And then on week 3, we're going to have addressing the trauma. This is called the guided meditation with music therapy. I will be leading you with the alpha binaural waves, which enhances your focus, memory, and calming the minds during stressful situations. It will lessen the traumatic events or the triggering effects of the traumatic events in your lives. All of us have gone through certain traumatic situations, so this is an important aspect of it. Week 4, we're going to address fear and grief. That's with Dr. Daiho Saito. He's a reverend doctor. He's also a Buddhist monk as well, and he is based in Japan. Week 5, we're going to address stress. We're going to look at yoga-based pranayama breathing exercises and then the Zen tango. Week 6 is the loving kindness and metta meditation. And Dr. Maya Soetoro Ing from the Obama Foundation, Matsunaga Institute for Peace will be able to lead us with that. And then week 7 is addressing the soul and spirit. This is Gandhi's concept of the soul force. Again, I mentioned earlier about the Satyagraha, the spiritual energy or a vital force conceived as constituting, residing in, and emanating from the soul. And then week 8, we're going to do a wrap-up session. You get to share some of your experiences as well. Following that, let's go into the understanding the meditation. What is meditation? Meditation has been practiced for thousands of years. Meditation originally has meant to help deepen an understanding of the sacred and mystical forces of life. So really, it's rooted in the spirit or the soul. Today, meditation is considered as a type of mind-body complementary medicine. Yes, you heard me right. It's part of the medical field now. Neurologists have studied this, and that's why I decided to quote the Mayo Clinic, because they're world-renowned in terms of this type of research. They've seen the difference in terms of their patients who've practiced meditation and their patients who just went with traditional Western medicine. They found that their patients who practice meditation can produce a deep state of relaxation, which then lessens the effects, the symptoms that they're experiencing from their medical condition. So during meditation, you focus your attention and eliminate the stream of jumbled thoughts that may be crowding your mind, causing stress. This process will result in enhanced physical and emotional well-being. Now, you might be wondering, what are the benefits of meditation? Why am I doing this besides the fact that I'm being told by my professor to do this? Meditation can give you a sense of calm, a peace of mind, and a balance, which is sorely needed now during the whole pandemic situation where we're more isolated. More people are experiencing stress, depression, either from outside sources or just from being alone. So this can benefit both emotional well-being and overall health. According to the Mayo Clinic, meditation can help carry you more calmly through the day and help you manage symptoms of certain medical conditions. I have featured the Dalai Lama himself, His Holiness, and he was talking about the peace of mind. This is just 3 minutes, and I wanted to share this with you.
This marvelous human brain, not well balanced with warm-heartedness, but combined with anger, jealousy. So then, instead of bring happiness or peace, you see, we really become the creator of problem. War only, I think, exists among humanity. It's quite a pity. Now scientists also say constant anger, hatred is actually eating our immune system. Anger very much related with self-centered attitude, altruistic attitude. These people much happier. Too much self-centered attitude, then whole phenomena, you see, appears something difficult. And then fear, anxiety creates anger. I feel education should include about our inner peace, not through prayer, but through understanding which emotion creates violence, anger, jealousy, anxiety, fear. So these ultimately related self-centered, I, me. Just to pray, God, not sufficient. We must have knowledge. When about anger comes, then use our intelligence and reduce the intensity of anger. Karuna, increase compassion, then anger automatically reduces. Today's reality, entire humanity, one community. So instead of also fighting, now we should develop sort of the universal love.
What I wanted to highlight what he said is that inner peace, he's advocating for it in education. And this is my way of integrating that in particularly peace studies. So when he spoke about the karuna, or the compassion that we have, it's not just compassion for other people, but also compassion for ourselves. So that leads us to the meditation and emotional well-being. Clearing away the information overload that builds up every day and contributes to your stress. So probably you're taking about 4, 5, 6 classes within a semester, and that is a lot. And you might be also working because there's no way to meet the cost of living in Hawaii without having to work consistently, unless you have a trust fund, which is not the reality for most people. But all of this external issues, including our social relationships with our friends, our family, our loved ones, that adds up and it burdens us. So the emotional benefits of the meditation includes you gain a new perspective on stressful situations. And that is something that you can learn. You can build skills to manage your stress. You can increase self-awareness. Particularly during this time of COVID, we need to have these skills to manage the stress. And then the most important thing, because we have all of these compounded stress in our lives, there is a hardship to focus on the present. This is called the presence of mind. It's not that you're having an out-of-body experience, but mainly that you're able to focus on the here and now. And then what the Dalai Lama, His Holiness, was mentioning is that you can reduce your negative emotions like anger, jealousy. Why is my life like this? Dealing with the trauma from past experiences in our lives that triggers us to change our moods, our behavior, our relationship with other people, and also the relationship with ourselves. The other thing is increasing imagination and creativity. You're more focused. You are able to be a more creative person. You can access both the left and right brain to help you produce the best work that you can have. And then finally, about inner peace is that you can include patience and you can increase your tolerance towards other people. You cannot control their actions, of course, but you can control how you see other folks and how you react to them. Then we now have meditation and illness. There's a growing body of science, of research that supports the health benefits of meditation. We're not advocating that you quit any kind of medication that your Western physicians have given to you or your naturopathic doctors have prescribed. With that in mind, the research suggests that meditation may help people manage symptoms like anxiety. That is the number one thing. When you panic on certain situations, asthma, cancer, chronic pain, depression, heart disease, high blood pressure, irritable bowel syndrome, sleep problems, tension and headaches. Then the types of meditation. Meditation is an umbrella term, again, for the different ways to relax or having achieved that balanced sense of being. So including in that is the guided meditation, where you're listening to someone's voice, someone's instruction, telling you how to focus your mind. Mantra meditation. Mindfulness meditation is when you're quiet. Mantra is something that you say yourself over and over again to achieve that sense of peace. Qigong and Tai Chi is a Chinese way of meditation where the whole body is included with the meditation as well. There's transcendental meditation. Again, there's a certain word that you repeat. Metta meditation will be explained in detail by Dr. Maya Sartori. And then there's yoga, that is from India originally, and that is how they practice meditation as well. A big part of yoga initially is from a spiritual thing. Now we see it as a physical exercise or relaxation, but it has all of those physical and mental benefits. Next, we have the elements of meditation. Some of the most common features in meditation includes focus meditation. So you focus your attention, focusing your attention, what helps your mind to eliminate distractions. So it's hard to do meditation when someone's yelling behind you or you're playing heavy metal music on the background. So this is a time for you to quiet the mind, quiet the soul. Next is the relaxed breathing. This technique involves deep paced breathing using the diaphragm muscle to expand your lungs. So you don't just breathe from your chest. All throughout the meditation, you have to make sure that you deeply from your diaphragm to produce a slower type of breathing, take in more oxygen, which is important, and reduce the use of the shoulder, neck, and upper chest muscles while breathing. We keep a lot of our stress on our shoulders, our neck, especially that we're working in front of a computer or watching TV or just working on your phone all the time, which is a norm nowadays. It's also important to have a quiet setting. Again, quieting the mind involves your environment. So if you're a beginner, practicing meditation may be easier if you're in a quiet spot. Even if you don't have that much space in the household, you can go to a quiet place in the room, wherever you feel comfortable. And comfort is an important thing. You need to be in a comfortable position, particularly when you practice the meditation. Sitting is okay. Some people like to lie down. For the purposes of this exercise, we are going to be sitting because we need to participate via Zoom. And some people can even meditate walking. And as you practice meditation more and more, the noise outside can be quieted down. be comfortable. That's the main point. And then one of the most important thing is opening your mind, your attitude. If you're starting to think about your grocery list or what assignment you need to do, you need to just redirect yourself. You don't have that presence of mind, but it's okay. You can just redirect. And finally, there should not be any type of judgment. Try to open up yourself. Now I'm going to introduce Reverend Takamasa Yamamura. He's my co-facilitator today.
Aloha, nice to meet you. I'm Reverend Yamamura of Honolulu Myohoji Mission, Temple, Nuanu Avenue. I'm a Japanese national, so I try to speak English, but if you have a difficulty to understand my speaking, please call to Joy. This is a privilege to speak in front of all of you, that you have a future. You create the future of the 21st century. It is very important. And I'm really happy to share with you the technique of meditation. Not only from me, Joy and me, we welcome other teachers, speakers will share with you a lot of the methods that you can learn. And because meditation really will help you, especially difficult time emotionally. Because I'm myself, I meditate a lot, but still I feel a lot of the anger myself too, and I feel anxiety, fear, but I can control somehow through this meditation. So I appreciate that Joy explained about meditation. So I would like to add a little bit more, if possible. So that I would like to explain before trying the silence meditation. So I'm talking about technique that, in daily life, we usually classify human emotion in our mind as being two kinds, classify two kinds. One is a good feeling, kind of pleasant feeling, and one is bad feeling. There's a two type of the classification of our mind. So human emotions are divided as pleasant and unpleasant. So we are classifying our daily happening as being pleasant or unpleasant. So a happening that you feel comfortable, happening that you feel good, this is for you good happening. And a happening that you don't feel, you're not feel good, you don't feel good, or you're not comfortable, you determine this is a bad happening. So we are always judging the happening as good or bad in our brain. So that is the nature of our mind. But we should find the peace because one of the goals of this session that we should find inner peace. Otherwise, we are always tossed about by external happening, and there is no end to our suffering. As you know, if good things happen, I'm happy. Bad things happen, there's a repetition that, so what then, should we do? What must we do? So I suggest you, it is to set ourselves apart from our feelings. So we should have small distance from, of course, it's happening in everything in our mind, but the sense that we should have a small distance from our feeling. This is a meditation, that method based on breathing meditation. How we can make apart, how we can make separation from our truly feeling, that we have to engage to the meditation. Because why is breathing is important? that Dr. Joy explained, how to breathe, using diagram full of your lung, air, full air on your lung. Why breathing is important? So because breathing is our life. So do you feel that this is a question of the mindfulness, but do you feel you are alive? Do you feel that you are alive now? So are you aware that you are now living? So many people are living by not taking notice that they are living and being grateful that they are alive. So what is the act of being alive? The act of being alive is breathing. So breathing is life, and it is to live. So when human beings are born as baby, we are born with taking a breath, and then and then when we die, we exhale and goodbye and die. So from the time of born until we die, we continue to breathe. So to take notice that breathe is to experience life and to become aware of the reality of life. So by taking notice of breathe, which is a reality of life, we can distance ourselves from our negative feeling. So we can set ourselves apart from suffering, in particularly through concentration by inhaling, exhaling. We will cease our feeling of good and bad judging, and we will experience a freedom from discriminative thinking. So when our concentration and observation toward our breath, we can be free from a lot of the matters. So to cease the movement of our judging mind and stop our thought is called Zen. You famous Zen. So we have to first create the mind of Zen through the breathing method, breath. So so can we try a little bit? Is that okay? Okay. So please try. And well, so far so good. You have a question about that? So again, I explain, because we suffer, because we're judging all the time, and we are having influenced by external phenomena, external happenings. Therefore, we suffer all the time. But of course, we sometimes enjoy the world. But unless we don't see inside, we continue to suffer. Therefore, how to return your consciousness to back to inner self, to concentrate, breathing, exhale, and inhale and exhale. So that Joy, thank you for explain. To explain. Please, relax your shoulder first. With myself even tight. Okay. And sit up straight if you can. The back should be straight. Straighten your back. So do not strain your shoulders. So try to relax, because how you tight, I believe you're always in front of the computer, right? And you are hearing a lot of the negative news from how many COVID are going down, and for now is better, but all the negative emotion made us tight, stressful. Therefore, you have to return to your inner self. True, Therefore, relax and pull down your chin. Okay, then your hand, you can put your lap. Again, relax. And very simple. And just, gently close your eyes. And breathe slowly and deeply. Imagine that you are inhaling slowly and that the air is entering the depths of your abdomen. So your abdomen should go in front. When you inhale, this your stomach going outside, and when you exhale, this abdomen side going the inside. So just keep focus of your abdomen. That in Japanese, onaka. This is a stomach. So just focus. So please, I said, your hand on lap, but please put on your abdomen part, like your stomach side. Please put this away, and then breathe. And so when we breathe, the abdomen and it fall and going out. And then when you exhale, or going the inside. Deeply inhale. Deeply exhale. So at this moment, you focus on your breathing. So you don't think about COVID. You don't think about your life. You are on your breathing. Deeply. Exhale. And eventually, you will have a lot of the memory and thoughts naturally will come up from your bottom of mind. It's good because this is a meditation. So you can have such thoughts, but don't forget to bring your conscious on your breathing. Breathing. I think we shared 3 times, three minutes or 4 minutes, right? So I think it's enough. But I would like to, I would like to say that many kind of perfectly believing people, if I could say, the good people or like educated people say, I should be empty when I have a meditation. The people say that I should be more focused, or I should be more, something. But please don't worry, because this is a meditation. When we start to meditate, naturally coming a lot of the thoughts of past memories. It's a famous example, the soda, the juice. This is a meditation, but it's good because when a lot of the thoughts of the feeling is rising up, you can observe from the part. This is a meditation that maybe I'm feeling this way, or maybe I'm feeling sad, or I'm feeling enjoying this moment. This is very important to observe. So His Holiness say always analyze your mind, and so through the meditation you can examine, you can analyze our mind. Therefore, please don't worry. When you meditated, naturally coming a lot of the thoughts, but later on you can control these feelings. You can concentrate or you can integrate your mind as one. So, sorry, I talked too much, Joy, Dr. Sen. So that I wanted to say. And so even we did this, feeling, right? That each of you, if you have a anger, if you're the truly sadness, because you are, young, so you are very emotional. It's of course it's normal. So if you're too much, feeling that you feel, please put the hand in your chest or your abdomen, and close your eyes, and feel that you are breathing, and then you will feel the warmth from your hands. And then please just focusing 2 minutes, breathing, exhale and exhale, and then you feel that you are here, that you feel this warmth of your hands, and then your external emotion little by little by, decreasing. This is, please try if you too much, feeling it came up. Even like you can use our hand. If you too much emotional thing, focus on your finger. And then when you inhale, this finger is going up your finger. And exhale. Inhale. This is one of the technique of the mindfulness. Maybe if you continue 1 minute, your emotion getting calm. Yeah, please try it if you have a time of the difficulty. So that I wanted to say from today. So Dr. Joy, so you have any?
Yes, does anyone have any questions? I'd like to encourage you to not just watch, but actually, do the exercises yourselves. Kailani.
Yes, I wanted to say, Sensei, thank you so much.
Thank you.
One of the things that you said that was so impactful to me was, are you aware you are living? And that is such a great thing, because so many times we're busy doing acts that resemble living and really not paying attention to our living. The techniques that you taught are very present. Would you say, my question to you is, just as you said, how we had this interruption is sort of like how life happens. We don't always get those periods where we can just sit down and get comfortable. Do you advise throughout the day as we go along to just take those moments to get mindful and do meditation, not just at certain times where it's convenient time frame, but all throughout our day as well?
I feel myself, because I have a habit to meditation, because I should meditate as my job. So I do the 1 hour and 2 hours of morning service, and because chanting with our school has emphasized to chanting, so therefore I chant 1 hour, 2 hours, make me happy. But for you, if you could, this breathing meditation, or you will learn from this session, you please select that you are comfortable meditation, that meditation that you like. Please select one, and then if you can meditate in the morning 5 minutes, and then evening 5 minutes. So if you can have a habit, like meditative habit, that if you have, you will not experience mental difficulty. This is I can say, to you, this is sure, you will not have a mental disease if you have a habit to meditate. So therefore, If you can have 5 minutes or 10 minutes meditation in the morning after you washing, everything done, please meditate. And then if you're before going to the bed, meditate, because meditation trigger the good sleep that Dr. Joy experienced. And then if the sudden emotional opportunity that we sometimes happening, right? People say something wrong to me, I really excited sometimes, and if it's something I heard the bad news, I really feel sad. So at the moment I feel, but we need to the practice, but at the moment we should mindful that we are feel this at the moment and keep deep breathe and exhale as 3 or 1 time. And then so important, because we cannot be the slave of our emotion. We should be patron, we should be like master of our feeling, emotion. So therefore, because we cannot change external happenings, COVID and other problems, we cannot change it. We can change that as we can change us. So we can change ourselves. So if you learn how to control our emotion, you will be the master of your life. So therefore, please learn. This is just a very, very small part of the meditation, but maybe Dr. Joy will share with you another good things. Yeah. Is that okay? Your question?
Yeah. Thank you. This, if you want to review this and practice along with, the recorded session, you can. I'll upload the YouTube link and then put it on the Laulima information. Okay. Thank you, everyone.